like Osai. We like Miles Murphy.
Yes.
The guys that I was going to talk highly about, I don't want to crap on, but I like them with Trey Hendrickson. I like them with Trey Hendrickson.
And I like Cam Sample, too. I like to bring him back, too.
Yep, that was one I mentioned earlier, and I was going to mention him. And then Cedric Johnson, who I thought was a really good 6th-round pick. Another year of him, I think, will be nice. So you see like 5 edges and 5 there. So if you get Sample, you've got 5 edges on the roster if you work something out with Trey. And Cam Sample doesn't keep you from still drafting somebody in the 1st or 2nd round at edge, as they should in a very good edge and defensive tackle class.
Or Nolan.
Yes, which would be the next part of it. Yeah. So right now we got a bunch of pretty good run defenders, and BJ Hill gives you a bit in the pass rush, but it's nothing spectacular, right? He's a piece. He's a good, solid veteran. But you got him. You got Slayton, who, depending how high or low you want to be on that signing, just go to different sites. You go to PFF, you're going to be low on him as a run defender, and that's what he does either way. He's a run defender. He's not a pass rusher. You go to ESPN, though, and their win rate, he's one of the best run stoppers in the league. So depending how good you want to feel about that, and time will tell, the truth's probably somewhere.
I think he's could be a good replacement for DJ Reader.
Well, that's your hope.
That's what we're hoping. Yeah, good. All right, keep going.
So you got him and Hill, and then we've said, like, McKinley Jackson and Chris Jenkins, they're good, solid 3s and 4s on your defensive tackles. So you kind of got your 2 guys, you got your 2 backups, but with all 4 of those, you're still missing that pass rusher. So that's where a guy like Walter Nolan comes in. And I talked a lot about Kenneth Grant, but I honestly think the TJ Slayton deal, I don't even consider Grant anymore. I just don't. I don't consider him.
That's the spot he'd play. So.
And I think McKinley backs that spot up, or at least embody if him and Jenkins are in, whatever, however.
I'd rather have a starter. Nolan's a 3-tech. I mean, it's a perfect spot for him.
But it bumps up a guy like Derek Harmon. So you get one of those guys, though. Let's just either one of them. And I'm much higher on Walter Nolan than Derek Harmon. Mm-hmm. But if we were to trade down to 23 or 24, pick up an extra 3rd because we only have 6 picks, and still get a Derek Harmon, you feel a lot better about that D tackle room at that point if you get one of those guys in the 1st. So yeah, I think that some of the depth's there, but no big splashes. And if you lose Trey, then you're just in panic mode because you almost got to force an edge, right? You've got to force an edge. You can't get that D tackle pass rusher we want in the 1st because you're forcing an edge, whether it's Pierce and Green, who I really like both of them. You almost have to force a guy like that. Or they go Michael Williams and just hope he's a good pass rusher when he hasn't quite done that, or Shamar Stewart, like if that's who's there.
Well, and the funny thing is I read an article, and I've been reading a lot of articles. I don't remember who wrote it, James Rapien or Jay Morris. I don't remember who wrote it, but according to this article, I think I quote tweeted it actually, that the Trey's agent told the Bengals that they could get a 1st-round pick for Trey, which, to be honest, I love Trey. This is no shade on Trey at all. When he first said they want to get traded, I said, I hope we get a 2nd round. I don't see us getting a 1st. I just don't. And
like a 2nd and a 3rd or 4th, whether it's this year or next, was my initial thought too.
So I mean, now for me, the thought process is, all right, this is the Bengals. All right, you think you can get a 1st? All right, good. Go get us one. Go see your market. And maybe Trey is, and they're finding out that he's not in this. I'm not trying to shit on him, but he's not Max Murphy. Max Crosby. He's not Miles Murphy. Yeah, Miles Garrett. I keep confusing him. He's not those guys, which he's not. I mean, he's
not Miles Murphy.
Yeah, and he's not Miles Murphy either. He's the best.
Or Max Murphy, Miles' brother.
Max is awesome.
Neither of those two.
He did, but Max is awesome. Follow Max on Twitter. But he doesn't do the run. He's a great rusher of the passer, and that's what he is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
he's decent against the run. Like there's some guys that are like awful.
Yeah, he's not awful at it, but he's not. He's not
a strength. It's not a strength. It's
So he's not going to get up there with them. Now, I still think he's going to get 30 to 35, which I'm okay with. If you do that for like 2 years, that'd be fine. Which would make it a 3-year, on top of this coming year. That's fine with me, and that's where I think the Bengals are. And I kind of think that's where his market is.
Yeah, and I would like if they could come back. Sorry to cut you off, but if it's like 30, and let's just say it's 30 per for a 2-year extension, that puts it at 60, and then he's on a contract for 16, so that puts it at like 76. So that's a little over 25. It's like 25.3 per year if you average the 3 years, and that's pretty damn good for a guy that got you 17 and a half sacks.